Hello everyone, it's Tana. Welcome back to the channel and another video for the Rabbit Hole Designs. Today we're going to be working with Caffeinated Parrot and Blended Sentiments 2, and we're going to pull in a couple other things. But for right now, we're going to work with some shimmer powders. I have the names there for you on the screen. And we're going to make this panel. I wanted like a darker panel because I had the plans of trying out my transfer gel. The one that you can use with heat or without heat. I have yet to use it since I bought it. And I wanted to go with a lighter foil. So I wanted a nice shimmery, darker background. And that's why I chose these colors. Plus I had done this parrot with metallic watercolors back when I was making the first video. And I wanted those colors to stand out. So after I mixed those on the panel, I heat set it and I let it totally dry, and now I'm just going to trim it down. And I believe it's my standard size of 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And here we are I'm going to use the Clouds of My Coffee stencil. And I had to do this very carefully to make sure I didn't accidentally touch any of the gel that I have already applied. And I did put pixie spray on the back of the stencil. So I did 3, and then when that dried, I did 2 more. But I don't show that on camera. And now we're just going to very quickly ink blend a panel using those 3 colors. Pink Champagne, Fiesta Blue, and Pixie Dust from Catherine Pooler. I will tell you that further on in the video when we're working with this panel, it is not the same panel. I will tell you about that when we're working on it. And I just blended these until the colors blended smoothly into one another. And I cut most of that out. You guys don't need to see all of that. Yes, my voice sounds a little scratchy. This is how my winters always go. Get rid of a cold, catch another one. I'm going to pull in the Chainmail stencil because I have yet to be able to use it. And I'm going to use some more of that transfer gel. And I just covered the whole panel. And there was nothing wrong with the way that I applied the gel. It was when you don't use heat, you run your foil through your die cutting machine. And, well, I made the mistake of adding too many layers to make sure that it stuck. Don't do that. So while I'm quickly stamping out my sentiments here, one of them comes from the Blended Sentiments 2 stamp set. The other one, I believe, is from Sassy Sentiments, and it's a mixture of 3 different sentiments from that set. And I'll read that to you as we get closer to it. As I was saying, I added the metal shim to my Gemini Junior along with the 2 plastic cutting trays, the magnetic mat and the clear plastic shim. And that was too much pressure for the foil. So that ended up just smushing all over the panel, even where there was no transfer gel. So I learned my lesson. This one came out perfect. And I'm using opal foil for my clouds. And then off camera, I reblended another panel with those same color inks, redid the transfer gel, and put my panel through the die cutting machine the proper way. So do your normal sandwich when you use that gel. Don't put any added pressure. And now it has turned out the way I wanted it to. So I took the sentiment for that chainmail card and I just cut a design around it because it was 2 lines and I didn't really have any sentiment strips that were wide enough for that. And I didn't want it to be a huge rectangle. So I just tried to make it as decorative as I could. I added a little bit of Fiesta Blue to it. And now you see me cutting into my parrot because I had the idea of putting him so that he was standing on the sentiment strip. But the way his feet were with his feathers, it was just impossible. It wasn't going to look right. So I just placed it behind the sentiment strip, and then you couldn't even tell that I cut pieces off of him. So he's going to get glued flat to the panel. And while he dries, we're going to adhere the chainmail panel to a white card base. The first one got adhered to a black card base, both 100 pound. And I'm going to use foam tape along with glue to add that sentiment to the lower part of the card front. I'm also going to use foam tape on the other sentiment strip, glue as well, and that's going to go right over the parrot's feet where I cut into his feathers, his poor little tail feathers. So here are both cards, guys. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget to check out the Rabbit Hole Designs email. Sign up for that. Get inspiration, know when sales are coming, new releases, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now, guys.